Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Cosa Nostra Radio. We're a family of poets from around the world who love to get together and share our love for verse. All are welcome here. The call-in number is 929 477 3951. 929 477 3951. Of course, we ask that you be respectful and cordial to all guests and poets. Let everyone speak, and please don't interrupt. Everyone will get a chance to speak. We treat others here the way that we would expect to be treated. Also, I'd like to mention that all the views and opinions of the guests on the show are reflective of the ownership and management of the Cosa Nostra Radio and are of their own free will. We all believe in freedom of speech and respect for all people. Feedback and conversation are encouraged. Thank you for joining us and enjoy this Cosa Nostra program.
Hello, another presentation of public poetry Sunday night, and I'm Razz, your host here at Cosa Nostra Radio. We're going to have a recital, get around to our fine, talented writers and what they propose as the modern antidote to poetic verses. First off, I'd like to bring in my co-host, Boo.
I'm right here, sorry.
Are you there?
I'll be right there, okay?
All right, she's a little bit occupied. Why don't we move on to our caller in the studio? Is that you, Headshot?
Yeah, it's me. Hey, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here, Headshot. You're always a special bonus plus.
Yeah, thanks.
How you been doing lately?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we just wanted you to know there was a bit of confusion there. The previous episode, if you became too controversial or political to one of the callers in the studio, none of that is what really occurred. They just had to hang up the phone.
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware that people get upset because of what they don't know. Smart people don't get upset; they understand. They always know more. It's the ignorant people who don't know that are unaware of something or this or that somebody else has to inform them for them to go on. The more you know, the better off you are. The less you know, the more chances you end up in jail or prison for overreacting, let alone circumstances, which happened.
Yes, the more you know. That reminds me of a PBS special I used to hear when I was a kid. And I guess we're going to move on to our next caller in the studio, and that would be Mr. Dave Prophet, right? Dave?
Hi, Grass. That's me.
Good to have you here, sir.
Beg your pardon?
How you been doing? How you been doing lately, sir?
Oh, third Midland. It's kind of hot up here right now. Finally.
Yeah. So Boo, she's sort of in the background currently. And I guess if you guys want, we could commence with a recital. Headshot, would you like to go first or Dave Prophet?
Sure, I can go if Dave doesn't want. Do you feel like going right now, Dave, or shall I?
If you want to go first, that's fine with me. And then, if you want me to go right after you, that'd be fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's our
okay.
rule here. Whoever calls in, you have seniority favoritism. You're allowed to take up the mic before the rest of the writers. So Headshot.
Okay, I just posted it. Sorry, I'm in the city. Okay, so this one's called Strike One. Exceptions differ, so assumption leads. Exceptions differ, so assumption leads. Harassment, what a boot, what his ass meant. Betrayed by the weeds. Shall ignorance be silenced, our wants or their needs? Beggars and thieves claiming cheating and weaves. No doubt why dad always leaves. Go to words, racism for a nation. Nothing, Your Honor. Copy Xbox over your PlayStation. So why try? They can't say what they will do. One is two. It's not baseball. Go on and cry. Like a noose, an upside down tie. The prince said it, but a bit too shy. Not my rocket. Told your hammer. It was not going to help. He saw no reason why. Your hero retired with and from Corona pay while they laugh as you live as a lie. All they do is switch sides. Django, this is why you die. Totally recalled, tug, pull, or jerk. Row, row, row your boat, a twerk. Sure, get black to trash black, then call it work. You make me sick, scalp 'em, towers on a merc. It's just water, moving a schlong. Get a cow to sip, spit, to drip on dirt. Drool less to make it hurt. Do you have another song? Don't need disgusting to move along, or ignorant to convince me that I'm wrong, nor unhealthy to confuse me to play along. Baggage, requesting baggage, carry yourself, don't ping my pong. Your decisions cost us, so we slept. You know you're wrong. They will break you, so you can't repay your debt. Live as a traitor or die beside a war vet while you suck on a bong. I'll have a Coke, since smoke was a joke. Not yet. It's very long. The law says we must agree, two sides till we don't feel free. It is not till death is rejected that war claims a fee. But when two turns to three, just to fall behind me, death and dishonor, 'cause we won't let it be. Not all love is true, as trust is known to be broken. It is not till a river, creek, or sea is dry to its bed that sand may be soaking. This land is not that land. Many sit whilst a few only stand, as the unspeakable has been spoken. Driving is not drifting. A well-tuned car is required for lifting. Chaos dances so she can sing. We fade into shade till our dying days as the road begins shifting. It is one thing to have, another to earn. It is one thing to have, another to earn. Yet to give away what was once given, only to return, they will freeze before they burn.
Yes, this took us all over the place with what you have as social dynamics, and there's many issues you brought up here. Some feel abandoned, neglected, and where are their lives going from there? That was at the beginning of the poem, but other distractions you mentioned are the ones who become self-absorbed with the net and constantly obsess over social media or playing video games. This I've heard also discussed on the same form of social forums, that it's found to be a general way of wasting one's time of being a productive member of society. And so, if you tend to drift away from what the majority whole and what the moral majority want from you, then it seems that would be the effect of the ending of the piece, that perhaps karma is not going to treat you all that kind. Thank you for this headshot. Dave Prophet,
yeah, thanks.
What do you think of this?
As well as on Xbox Live is a bit rougher than PlayStation. There's a girl on there that all the gay people sound like. It's like all the gay people copied that one girl. It's as if Xbox people have people who are more real and everybody else just fades away from that. That's why I also try to imply. Yes,
I know you had your own specific reasons why you're mentioning. I'm just interpreting the poem from my perspective. I don't mean any disrespect to you as the writer, Headshot, and your sources.
Yeah, thanks.
Dave Prophet, what do you think of this piece?
Well, I liked it. I don't understand it because I'm of a whole different era here, but I like the directness of it. there's parts of it that I get, and parts of it that kind of leave me out in left field. That's no reflection on you, Headshot. That's just me and my ignorance going to work here. But it's really a well composed poem, well thought out. It shows a lot of thinking on your part, and I liked it. So I thought you did a good job with it.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
It's the wild world of sports on the news. All right. Well, Mr. Prophet, are you prepared to have your poem read on the podium?
Hey, wait about me, Razz. What about me?
Oh, Boo, you came back. Yeah, are you going to comment on Headshot?
Yeah. Hi, sorry, it's really loud over here, so I apologize. But I think, first of all, hi, Dave. Hi. Oh, my God. My fault.
Hey, Lou.
Go ahead. What's your say, Boo?
Okay, sorry. I think just the way that you read it was powerful. I'm sorry. People just keep coming in here bugging me. The way that you read it was powerful, and you read it with confidence, and like you were proud of what you wrote, and I like that. So assumptions lead. Shall ignorance be silenced? There wants, there needs. Good rhyme. Of course, it's got your typical, the way that you read it, and all spread out like that. Go to words, racism. This is just like a call to action in a way, and a manlyhood, and shy boy who now feels strength and feels like his words can be heard and his voice is now heard. That's great, right?
Yeah, thanks. I think we've been betrayed, and it's obvious. And now that we know better, it's time we separate the boys from the men and finish the game once and for all.
Yeah,
yes,
you gotta stand up for what you believe in.
We have to stop playing games. We want to be serious. Good call, Headshot.
Well, you gotta be.
All right. Mr. Prophet, are you ready, sir?
Yeah. Let me refresh my page.
I'll grab the piece for you. Yeah, Goddess of the Nile.
Oh, I can put it up, Raz. That's no problem. Here we go.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wrote this poem for a friend of mine. Her name's Randall S, I guess it is. Anyway, she's a nice lady, and I like her, and she's really pretty, and she's from Egypt. And so I call this Goddess of the Nile. And it sounds like this. Ra's shaft of gold kissed the pyramids of old. So early in the morning, their antiquity so adorning. A zephyr cooled by the Nile lingers around me a while, brings a silken kiss, its watery fragrance I've missed. Mighty ancient Egypt still exists with its past and today's nexus, has no equal in its beauty, its admiration has become my duty. Desert's wavering images, I see her face in the shifting collage of heat waves in the distance, Pharaoh's queen of countenance. Egyptian eyes shaded in kohl, peers into my mesmerized soul, her movements in such courtyard grace, purple eddies of air around her trace, the fragrance of this well-kept queen, this thief of hearts has always been promised only to her Pharaoh with her heart, and so it goes. She speaks to me from the past, ancient language so well cast, her native tongue so difficult to pronounce, something she would never renounce, saying unto me, David, thy heart to me so captivated, so long have I wondered and waited, if the future held men such as you, those sands of time that does not skew, your ideals of beauty, love, and grace, their hieroglyphs to your soul trace, what is truly inside your heart from your time and back to the start. My birth and my death I live on in my unending breath. Prayers from the pyramid text, your Egyptology so vexed. Yet you understand my native tongue. Unto you 'tis only sung, with no confoundment of hearts. Verily from me to you these ancient arts. So I spoke to the mirage shimmering before me. My queen of Upper and Lower Egypt to see, I am lost for words in your countenance. I feel unworthy within your audience, perhaps just speaking to a desert image of heat waves and sand's visage, to me still are all too real, your everlasting soul I feel. My queen, pray thee, my queen, pray tell thy name to thee. I ask this queen of 3 millennia to see into her divine grace only for me. This 21st century man simplistic plea. David, I am Queen Randall S of the Pharaoh's Black Rosary, the spirit of the purest black rose of the ancient text as the legend goes. My timeline is closing down once again. Please return tomorrow at dawn's arcane, for through your eyes I see the future past. So many questions for you I should ask. So I left my queen in the pyramids of old, her visage fading as Ra went down within his bark to the slumbers surround. Queen Ramda's beauty resurrected in lapis lazuli and gold. I have returned to this exact spot for the rest of my life. My visits with the Pharaoh's wife, a miracle to me that time has bought. Randa Yoseri, 'tis my queen. In the years before our Lord, such beauty this has always been, for she is my friend, so adored. End poem.
Yes, there's plenty here on comparing her to the real thing in the Egyptian goddess. I specifically like the lines on a black rosary to let all the spirits in. This reminds me of a sense of mysticism where you want to be a state of oneness with the spiritual realms, and all of that is a kind of New Age teaching, so many years remodified. Headshot, how do you feel about Mr. Prophet's piece?
I think somebody will be more stronger and more worthy being faithful and loyal to one female as a man. If you're faithful to more women, other men will see you as a less because we're men and we all know how we work. You're not going to fool a man if you're a man. It's fairly obvious. And then you add to that some land, and the world is divided. And it's always sway back and forth. And so basically what you have is swingers or people who are faithful to more than one person at a time. And then on the other side, you have people who are faithful to one person at a time. And this is splitting humanity. Some people feel like they're obligated. Some people take an oath and some people don't. And then after that oath, what do you do? And are you able to do that? Is that not terrorism? Or what do you do before that oath? And then what happens to that oath if you have an oath or make an oath, as we've all pledged since we were in school? And so what happens to that pledge? And what are we worth when it's questioned? This is what's dividing humanity and it's tearing us apart. And until we figure it out, life isn't going to be but a work of art. I thought it was a great ride.
Thank you. Thank you.
Poetical words, Headshot. Would you like to comment, Boo?
Sorry.
Step away again.
Comment?
Boo? Yes. Are you going to comment on Dave's piece?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's so loud over here. Sorry. Hi, Dave, by the way. You're like such a storyteller always, and like very unique one at that, because we all know you like science and all that, but every time I read something yours, I get something different, and then you go back and read it again, and you get something different. It's just always something little in there that you throw in there that's educational or fascinating. So anyway, but about this one, I love the picture. That's so cool. Even how it starts off at Ra shafts of gold, kiss the pyramids of old. Great rhyme there too, and the word choices are awesome. Deserts, wavering mirages. I don't know. This queen sounds pretty sexy, pretty hot. And I love how you say I love how you always have it like they're talking to you. David, thy heart is so captivated so long. I hear the mother do this to you too, right? And then my birth and my death, I live on unending breath prayers. This sounds like a spiritual connection of the ethereal kind in a very way that you can't really describe other than you're just connected on a whole other level. And this is spiritual vibe too, I think. And what a tribute to Randa. Really, really beautiful. Anybody would love to get this. I see she was flattered for that. And I think you did an awesome job. And you have so many dedications for so many people. I know because you've written a couple for me, and they're all gorgeous. And a lot of people don't do it very well, but you do. Thank you. Beautiful poem. Is that the picture you put there? Or is that somebody else's picture?
No, I did that. I put that picture of her into the Great Pyramid on
that's a cool. A nice touch.
Yeah.
I love the touch. See, it
also
shows that you're thoughtful. Shows that you're thoughtful and creative too, and I dig that. Good job.
Thank you. She's a nice lady, and she's a real nice friend, and I appreciate her friendship very much.
And you know what? You're the kind of person that you do take friendship seriously. It does mean something to you. I think all of you fellows there right now do, and you're all wonderful at it. So be proud of being a good friend, because a lot of people don't take it seriously anymore. They just, it's a joke to them. But until something goes down, as you know, and people walk away. So it's people that stick around that are worth it. All three of you, I appreciate for being great friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Boo.
You're welcome. Razzle?
Yeah, I hear the voice. She's calling us from the background again. All right. So let's
Konreg said he's going to call, by the way.
Down to the next part of the recital. Yeah, I saw that on the board. We're expecting Konreg to call if he's going to show tonight. And P.M. Murphy also wrote that he might be calling in as a SoundCloud. We're going to work
Where's
that
Adam?
out, Boo.
I wonder where Adam is. The only one I have ready at the moment is Phil.
Yeah. So far, I saw him on the board earlier before the show, and I guess he hasn't ringed in yet. Right.
Because I'm having a hell of a time again, as always. But you can do Phil if you want.
That was a pretty wild night last night with Brack and the Broken Hearts. It was a good thing all of it was somehow salvaged. I thought.
Oh my God, I should have cut that because you know what? It was 3 hours and 15 minutes. I should have cut it because now it's got my stupid rap in there. I think a lot of people.
Cali.
Yeah, I listened in. I heard that. I heard a piece of that.
I don't think so. All right, we have a caller in the studio. Let me bring him in real quick. You're unmuted. Hello?
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Hey.
This is Konreg.
Hey, Konreg.
How you doing, Conrad?
Nice to hear you guys again.
We missed you.
It's been some time since you were here in the halls of the studio. You know, we hashtag you every episode.
Hey, I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys too.
I hope you're doing good in your studies and all that.
Yeah, things are going well. So.
Perfect. You ready to read?
Yeah, I can if you guys want me to.
All right, we'll do Konreg. Yeah, you have the podium. Sure.
Okay. Let me pull it up real fast.
No, I'll put the link on the board for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Just
thank you.
Proceed with the podium, sir.
Okay. So this one is called Crusade. You came to this land for a holy war, ready to die for what I held so dear. My keeps bursting with the parts of you I stole so many moons ago. The empires that stumbled out from your chest, laying siege to my own, running my rivers crimson with those that marched beneath my banner. What a nightmare of a memory, a tyrant of the heart, the most crooked of crowns. My court was filled with vices made royal and half-hearted vows. My countrymen have fled. No more strength left for battle. Storms raining heavy above our sprouting rust from the steel at our hips, dulling whatever edge that still remained. So let the horns die slowly. We will wave our flags in surrender. Take what was yours. I just hope to stop the bloodshed. Such a fool I had become to believe I was still a good man. End poem.
Very good, sir. And yes, what one wants to know is that they did their best for God and country. So I like to believe. Mr. Prophet, would you like to comment on this piece by Konreg?
Yeah, I would. First of all, it's pretty sad, really. When you listen to it, I like the way you read this, this kind of reminds me of what's going on over in the Ukraine right now. I don't know if it had any roots in that or not, but I think it was really well written, and you put a lot of thought into it when you wrote it. It's really fascinating to listen to. What a nightmare of a memory, a tyrant of the heart, the most crooked of crowns. My heart was filled with vices made royal and half-hearted vows. Boy, I think we've all been guilty of some of that from time to time. We get our heads all pumped up full of stuff that other people think's noble, and then we find out that it's not so noble when it comes right down to the brass tacks. But I like this poem a lot. I thought it was really, really interesting, and it just supported me. I thought it was really, really cool.
Thank you. I'm happy you enjoyed it so much.
Excellent feedback, Mr. Prophet. What about you, Headshot?
Yeah, it was short, but it was he covered a lot of angles and he got his point across. So like you said, for God and country, that's singular. One country, one God. In God we trust. It's not in gods we trust. So what happens when more than one God shows up? And what happens when one God is gay, one or more is gay, and one or more is not gay? Shall those gods get along? And who will speak and defend those gods? A holy war, are we not obligated to defend our God as we do our women till we're betrayed, killed, and thrown in prison? It is our fierce actions that lead them to do what they do. If we weren't there in the first place, they would not be here. None of us would be here now. So we thinned ourselves out, and there's very few men left, and that's how we wanted it, because it's the predator. We're so proud and convinced that we're men, and that women don't level up to a man's standard. That we were overwhelmed, and we want to be overwhelmed to prove ourselves more than any man or men have ever proven before. And the only way you do that is to be outnumbered more than before. Emotions form in the mind. So has the heart or the mind been betrayed? People will fool you and convince you with emotions, but they're not real. They're just formed to betray you and convince you and distract you. They come from the mind. There's so many things that they said were true and that are not true. And that's what terrorism uses. Terrorism uses all the lies that they fed us. And now that we know they're not true, we can differentiate terrorists from a hero. And we'd like we want one of them to go away so this world can be pure and have you can have your terrorist or you can have your hero. But this having this and that isn't going to work anymore. And we're establishing that. I thought it was a great write.
Common Headshot. I would like to believe the majority of the world prefers heroes to terrorists. That's just my viewpoint. Boom. Do you have a say on this piece by Konreg?
Of course I do. I think the last couple of poems that you've written have been very deep. Like I could see the expansion in your writing and like the maturity. You've grown, so that's good. You came to this land for holy water, ready to die when it held so dear. This seems like somebody's been fighting and fighting and fighting, but only fighting the fight alone, one-sided, and waiting for that other person to join him, but not, or they're not quite there yet. And then a tyrant of the heart, the most crooked of crowns. My court was filled with vices, half-hearted vows. So she's not all, this person, I guess she is not all in like you are. That's what I see. Not like all in and not committed. So you give up because you're tired of the bullshit, you're tired of the bloodshed, you're tired of the crap. And then at the end, the last two lines, such a fool I become to believe I was still a good man. That she degraded you and brought you down so much that you no longer feel worthy. Worth it? I don't know if I'm right. That's what I see, and it's very heartbreaking and beautifully read, and it just screams of disappointment and letdown to me. Well written.
Thank
We
you,
don't
guys.
want your stinking war. An anti-protest type of policy there, boo. Yeah. Oh, we have another caller in the studio. You're muted.
Hello, Patrick.
PM Murphy.
Patrick.
Great to have you here, sir.
Hey, Patrick.
No problem. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I haven't had you call in a while. Yay. Great poem, Konreg. You ready to read, Pat?
Oh, I got to read now. My family is doing a safe talk. Is that okay?
Yeah, I saw you.
Okay.
You're in a rush, so we'll put you right there on the board so you can take up the podium, sir.
If I could real quick, the courts just overturned Roe v. Wade, which is abortions, and so it's back to the states, and now they're discussing gay marriage and whether gay intercourse is illegal and banned, and whether it should be punishable by death or whatnot.
Right. Next thought online is PM Murphy. So please recite, PM.
All right, it's called Widowed in California. I thought I'd change this. Oh, well, I'll just read it as is. It rains on as grass whimpers and drowns with gasps of air. Happens often in California where the wet comes down over the desert and blankets every pothole that butts it. As the ice shivers when cars don't drive, always glazing the newfound streets. Just an Okinawan boy far away from Japan, where the typhoons come all too frequently and the last breaths of sunlight fade around. The heat perched up around 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, always good enough to walk outside. Lost all those mile highways around the world where I could have been seated right next to all the beaches. Another crawled up location where the ants and beetles migrate to, and watering the yard meant to drown it. And I sit with a recollection. I sit with in self-love and a disaster soon to come. I sit. End point.
Yes, there's definitely a kind of harmonic balance here between macro scales and microcosms, of which I am very absorbed by this type of writing, where you're noticing all the tiny angles of nature are immersed inside the scene of California, and it makes us all seem so commingled on more than one quantum level. Thank you, PM Murphy. Dave Prophet, what do you think of this piece?
Well, this reminds me of what happens every year down in California with the wildfires. You know, it's kind of, I mean, if you take this poem literally, that's the way that's what I took from it anyway. It rains on as grass whimpers and drowns with gasps of air. Happens often in California. Happens every year down there. Last couple of years, we've had a taste of it up here in the Pacific Northwest too. A couple of years ago, I was in the middle of a fire zone, and I live up in the middle of Rocky Mountains up here, Mountain National Forest, and we were worried about our homes burning down up here. The heat perched up around 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, always good enough to walk outside. It's been about 50, 55 degrees up here, and then all of a sudden in 2 days it went up to 95. It was 96 up here today, I think. But that's just the way it works. And I like this poem. I thought it was interesting, and I like the way you read it too. It's well thought out. Good poem.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was just off over those wildfires the previous year. They called them great wildfires, a whole phenomenon that hadn't occurred in nearly 100 years as to what kind of conflagrations were flaring there in the state. We all feel for California when they go through those forms of natural disasters. Headshot. What do you think?
I say I have a quote that says, "Drowning on a mountain as I struggle to breathe." It doesn't matter how high or how low you are. We need air to live. Water and food are just a trap for that. And so he says, and drowns with gasps of air. We all need air to live. And so California and the West allocated water, and they're just about done with their water. With the growth of so many people, and they must have been scientists because they got it wrong. They were just off a bit like they do. So now what do the people do? The lake's drying up, and they're soon to be out of water. They're trying to solve it, but what do? You have all these people who need water, and that water supplies power to the West Coast. And what is the rest of the country to do? Are we to help them? And is this like another corona or another hurricane from the east where we all have to help out, and it's just draining the whole country for their mistakes and their miscalculations? So humanity is torn, and what do we do now? So we're just in a bit of a situation here. The ending says, "I sit in self-love, and a disaster soon to come. Well, if you just sit, you're not doing nothing but having everybody else feed you and water you and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who didn't sit, and they're all dead in prison and suffered because sitting is safe, and that's what we strive for. You go through your whole life to be able to sit. Some people are born just sitting, so it's a bit unfair, and humanity should get right if we want to continue to be right. I thought it was a great rant.
Thank you.
Very realistic headshot. Yeah, and we don't know when that day is coming, when it's going to be like the day after tomorrow. 7 superstorms are covering up the entire world. I would agree with you there. See, global warming just keeps getting higher for those who think that concept is very real, on carbon dioxide levels reaching past the point that they have in over millions of years. So what about Konreg? How do you think about this piece by P.M. Murphy?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was really, roped in immediately with the first line. It rains on as grass whimpers and drowns with gasps of air. Just that visual alone, I think, of kind of the sky opening up and, there's too much rain, right, to absorb into the soil, so it all sits on top, drowning the grass. And I like that imagery. And as you read it, I find it to be, at least when I'm reading it, very like you're looking into yourself a lot, and you're just kind of analyzing the things around you and the situations you're in, and comparing that to nature. And at the end you say, "And I sit with a recollection, I sit in self-love, and a disaster soon to come, I sit." It is, like the calm before the storm, right? It's like right before shit hits the fan, there's this kind of like sense of peace that comes over you. And I really like that, the way it ends. I have no idea if I'm anywhere close to what you were shooting for or aiming for, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it reads really well. So, yeah, I got a lot out of it. I really enjoyed it. So thanks for sharing it.
Thank you.
Excellent feedback, Konrad. Boo, are you going to have a word on this by Patrick? Because he has to jet and run.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it's metaphor for something else, for like the end of something, and you just sort of accept it, and you know their last breath is in sight. You say here. You know how at this point you can't really do much of anything else about it. It kills the livelihood. It kills communities. It's hurting you. It's dangerous, and you know it, and you just sort of accept it. You just sit there and wait. You're sort of feels like you're kind of defeated to me. I don't know if I'm right there. It also makes you wonder. You want to know what's going on. You want to know, so you leave it up to the reader. I think that makes it more interesting. I always love your writing. I don't know if you always say you're the most probably underread, underrated one of them on here. And these changes have triggered something in you, as they have in the environment, and you're just going to accept them. It's a great write, and it's very intelligent.
Thank you.
You're
All right, I got to bounce. I got to call my mom.
Thanks for coming, Pat.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great having you,
Thanks,
Patrick.
love you. Yeah.
Yeah, so Boo, you want to take this over to Phil? Do you have that ready to load?
Yeah, I just got to get over to the studio. I may have to hang up to do the other two because just the converters, it won't work. So same old. I might just have to tape them. Just so you know, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, eventually, instead of broadcasting from a basement, we'll find a more
No, I've tried like 20
remote
different
location.
converters and none of them work. And so that's the problem. It's only with YouTube that it's like this. So I don't know why, but okay, I'm going to get it. You have the poem?
Yeah, I can put the link if you can just pop up the song to audio to the blog.
There's somebody on hold
right.
on 907.
Yeah, Liquid's here.
You
want me to grab Liquid real quick before you put on Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see her on the board. Like I was telling you, I'm running into a kind of multiple phase with these screens here lately. So, enough of the small talk. All right. It was good of Patrick to show. You know, he never does, really. He's still part of the group. Did you say you were missing him the other day, Boo?
No, I'm looking for Phil. What's it called, this poem? I guess somebody knew from Phil.
Yeah. Let me grab
What's it
Liquid.
called?
Liquid, are you there?
You guys, I thought you forgot all about me out here.
No, you can come inside the studio. We're still in the basement.
Hi, guys.
In case of the supercell tornadoes for the day after tomorrow.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Boo.
What's the name of Phil's poem?
Yeah, the Green Fairy. You know, it's a type of absinthe bottle and drink, but there might be another point with the poetry.
Yeah, I got that one in there. Maybe Linda could do hers, and then you could come back. Sorry, I got to find it.
All right. Liquid, are you ready to perform?
I suppose.
So how have you been lately?
I've been good. You know, I'm up and walking on 2 feet. Every day's a holiday, and it's beautiful weather up here we're having, and everything's real cool.
Yeah, it must be gorgeous.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, beautiful weather.
All right, I'm looking up the folder, and I don't have your poem. So if you could just drop it on the board.
Okay, I'm going to have to go get it. Okay. I don't know why it's not up there. I put it up there earlier.
These kinds of miscreants tend to happen when you try to be as organized as possible.
Right. Okay, let's
You've been having office work.
Great, we obviously are doing a great
job.
There we
go. There we go. This piece is called Hope and Dave. On a cliff on a mountain by the forest of Gem lived a bear and a parrot who were very best friends. The bear, it appeared, could dance all the while the parrot, it seemed, could sing songs in bear style. So as the day passed, the two had some fun, singing and dancing in the warm beaming sun. Now the bear's name was Hope, and she loved to go fishing, and the parrot was Dave, who for hope he was wishing for fish that they both loved to eat for breakfast and dinner and in between treat. And other than that, they played and they romped, they sang and they danced and they twirled and they stomped. Life was so lovely, the sunshine so bright. The love of these friends was a beautiful sight. One afternoon when Hope took her pole, she was off to the creek by the red fox's hole. The best place to fish was where the fox played. And when Hope got bored with the fox, she could play. But on this fine day, something came near. It filled up their hearts with a bundle of fear. Man was the one who came with his gun to shoot a fine bear. To man was great fun. And then through the trees came a deafening sound. Hope then let out a bellowing sound. She ran back to Dave as fast as she could, but then she fell down, not feeling so good. With blood gushing out, all the animals hushed. Dave came to Hope in a terrible rush. "I'm sorry," said Hope. Her voice was so faint. "It's time to start praying to Francis the Saint." So the animals prayed, and they all held their breaths, that today wouldn't bring the day of Hope's death. But alas, Hope did die from the bullet of man, the scariest thing in all of the land. The moral is, for Hope to survive, the bullets must cease, so the creatures can play with a heart full of peace. End poem.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's bring it back to Eden there. All the creatures in the wild, free and roaming, where the wild things are, like the Spike Lee Joe movie. What do you think about this, Steve Prophet?
I think they've left.
Oh, no. Dave, you there? You dropped. All right. Let's give this a second. Wait for a response. And then none comes, we'll move on to the next panelist. Yeah, all right. Konreg, give us a love, bro.
Yes. I really enjoyed this. It's so fun and playful in the beginning, right? It almost feels like a Disney movie. And then, obviously the bullets come and the hunter comes, and you definitely can feel the pain that these two friends and, more so than that, the community of their, like the nature, all the creatures in the area feel for this animal that, dies by a gun in the hand of a hunter. And I think it speaks a lot about a lot of things going on in the country, and but in a way that is very approachable, right? And I think that in itself is something very difficult to do. So I really enjoyed it. The visuals are fantastic. Hope and Dave, I'm a big fan. I wish there could be a sequel or Hope didn't die, but you know,
Aww.
it's okay. But yeah,
thank you,
so thanks for
Konreg.
sharing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was hilarious. Headshot. What about you? How do you feel about Liquid Damage's piece?
He's going to call back, I think, because he lost signal.
Headshot also dropped. So that moves us over to you, Boo.
Oh, there's Linda, the queen of rhyme, you know. And, you know, I would say the same thing. Your voice is just so cute. I just want to listen for, you know, so you read stories. I can listen to it all day. It's just, and the way you can tell that you actually love writing poetry, that it's fun for you, you enjoy it. And I like people that you can tell that they like writing and they get joy from it. And that makes me happy. And I think for a lot of us it is therapy. But so anyway, back to go. So Hope and Dave, that's cute. Even the picture's cute. I like how you put little things in the middle too. I think that looks really good. It's just a cute story. The day passed. The two had some fun singing, dancing. It's upbeat. It's bright. You know, talks about friendship. Life was so lovely. The sun shines so bright. The love of these friends is a beautiful sight. It's about true friendship, I think. And then they gave them fear. Oh, there goes the man with the gun. There we go, fucking shit up again with the guns and the violence, right? Yeah, that's sad. She could hold back David said that she could. You know, that's what real friendship is, too, isn't it? Taking a bullet for someone or standing up for someone. Oh, that is sad. And they all prayed. That's cute because I know how spiritual you are. But, you know, he died but lives forever in the memory. And I love your moral. You always have a moral to your story and always have a point. And true friends are hard to come by, and you should pick up to them if you can. I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you, Boo. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great feedback, Boo. And there's not much we can do about hunters where it's legal in those states. Yeah.
Right.
So did you load up?
But it does say a lot about friendship.
Boo?
Ready for Phil.
All right. I'll put it on the board. Just press play.
This is a poem by Phil the Poet called The Green Fairy. A green fairy stomps around in mahogany boots, playing a tuneful melody on an apricot flute, pouring emerald mist down my hungry throat. Intoxicated by it all, I give in and begin to float. She kisses me with lips laced with wormwood. Bitterness is so sweet as it tingles my blood. Losing all sense of order and mundane reality, I drift into the wonderful world known as poetry. I hear the cry of the albatross in an ancient rhyme, the chant of nevermore passing through time. I see the dancing colours upon the artist's canvas, which swirl around like stars at night, then vanish. Drink to the dregs of a poisoned cup laced in rust, eating a grape filled with sour thoughts of lust, waking up with a thistle-bound book of poems, filled with words of orchard petals and forgotten tones. Sleep. Let the effects of the green fairy drift away. Too much bitter-sweet moments will curse your day. Don't let the dark absinthe dull your creative mind. You're an inspiring man of words. She can never bind. End poem.
Wow.
Yeah, it says here, like I was thinking, green fairy is the nickname of absinthe made from wormwood, which contains the chemical thogen, which causes hallucinations made infamous to the drink. And, this has been along the lines of not just Ernest Hemingway, even Vincent van Gogh. Plenty of artists have been inspired by absinthe in order to try and, get their muse revving. But let's look at reality here. Van Gogh committed suicide. Hemingway committed suicide. You have to be careful when you're seeking that muse not to just jump right over the edge. Might be the message here of being beware of the green fairy. What do you think, Liquid, since I heard you so responsive?
Yeah, I loved it. Phil has such a way with rhyming, and I love the theme of it, the absinthe. I've done absinthe, and it's something you do need to be careful with. It's a very intense high, but he just had such good language in this, beautifully written, and I thank you, Phil, for sharing it.
Great appreciation words, Liquid. Konreg, what's your response of Phil the Poet's Green Fairy? Konreg? You there? Let me check real quick.
Where's Adam? That's what I want to know. Yeah, Konreg dropped.
Yeah, he dropped as well.
Yeah.
So it's just us in the studio right now.
Yeah, I don't know where Adam is. He said he was coming, right? Too.
Adam comes and goes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He said he lost a single.
Yeah, he'll call back.
What about you, Phil?
I can come.
Phil the Poet, the Green Fairy.
I like this. She kisses me with lips laced with wormwood. Bitterness is so sweet, tingles my blood. This is all sentinel of the mundane reality. It drifts into the wonderful world known as poetry. That's just poetic right there. I mean, this is really, really good. This reminds me of Linda and her rhyme. It's spot on and perfect, and it seems so effortless for him. Drinks the dregs of poison laced and rust. Eating a grape. So this deserves the front page, in my opinion. This is so good. This is right on the money and so smooth in every way. And let's see, this is for one of Deb's prompts. He nailed it. I think she'd be proud. Awesome job.
Yes, it was very well thought out that absence can be quite the hazard. What he metaphorically means by that, Green Fairy. So let's look back into our topic folder, the magic box. And what else do we have here for tonight? I'm going to, I guess, maybe read Joseph Moon's. He's always good on the show. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then I'll go, and then we'll decide.
Have him read. All right. Joseph Moon, loyalist since day one. And here's his piece. Konreg says that, it was nice to hear from Basal, but he had to get back to work, and that's saving lives, so we feel for you, brother. All right. Here's Plague by Joseph Moon. I trod along a peaceful path, lined with lilies and golden daffodils, sand clouds over the greenish hills, the lake where swans enjoy a bath. While it's admiring nature's lovely view, a shrill winged sigh comes flying. I hear the sound of someone crying, a child and a pregnant woman too. As the baby carriage goes whirling through, my heart fills with unending pain. I feel as if America is going insane, into a plague world I never knew. Where in dark 'tis the home of tyrant and slave, where guns are the toy of many a boy, and political judges slaughter sublime joy, where right to choice is in the grave. Befitting banners of adversity, the path 'tis dusty and gray, darkening the June day, the death of Lady Liberty. Ideas, speech, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. And peace. And it says here, author's note, June 26, 2022. Like many, I despair for our Constitution and country. This is a concerned American that are we leading on the threshold here of complete and utter political division. And it's very sad that in certain percentages, all of this might very well be true. But I think a good part of the majority are hanging on to their own form of freedom. So I guess we could just debate that for hours like I end up doing on social media. But that's an entirely different question. Thanks for the right, Joseph. Liquid, what do you think of this piece?
Yeah, this was a really nice piece, and Joseph is another one that just writes really well. His rhyme scheme here is very unusual, but it worked, really well with this piece. I see it like we're all living, day to day, and getting up and putting our pants on and watering the lawn and going outside and all this, and then bam, the baby carriage comes wheeling through, and it's like something that is going to disrupt your life. And what do we do about it? We have gone insane. That's true, and it is a plague. And it's the worst plague we've ever seen, the insanity that's going on right now. And I think he portrayed this very well in this wonderful piece. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing.
Some feedback, Liquid. And Boo, is the studio just the three of us? Because I can't see it right now. Boo?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Don't tell me she dropped too while the windows were freezing.
No, I'm here. My phone's just stuck.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
There you are.
Hello. The lake where swans enjoy a bath while admiring nature's lovely view. I hear something crying. Wow, that's pretty subtle, really great rhyme there. Goes really through my heart. Yeah. It's so true. As if America's gone insane, questioning the tyrant and the slave. That's so literal and real. Where guns are toy of many a boy and political judges. This is his opinion on the world as it is, and the world that we're in right now, the state that we're in. And it's beautifully written. The Risting Banners. I love the death of Lady Liberty. Isn't that the truth? It's a really good poem about what went wrong, how to get it back, and his respect for our country and life, I think. And we're all kind of wondering, how do we get back to where we used to be? Great job.
Yeah, we all want to get back to where we were, especially after all these different hits lately of general division amongst the people in the state. So, because that's same where we were just like 5 years ago, it didn't seem this messed up, the whole country. But, that's a topic that we're not supposed to reach in specifics here. So I'm just kind of broadening on it, generally speaking. Ooh, are you ready for your right?
Yeah. Ready as I'm getting. I think I have it still saved. I can't find the group. That's weird. Look at the top. Oh, duh. Okay, I think I got it. If not, I sent it to you, but let me see. Neil wants to know we're going to read his, too. We'll read it next. Tell him that, Larry.
Neil comes next, all right.
Okay. I'm just going to type it in here real quick. Read next. Okay. All right, listen, this is called Skeletons in the Closet. The skeleton in your closet will one day come outside from the past into the present, from which you cannot hide. You can keep us in the dark, and I know this is your hope, but you can't avoid detection underneath the microscope. The skeletons in your closet, the skeletons in your closet tend to make you paranoid. You're afraid that they'll reveal what you're hoping to avoid. I know you've heard it said that you can run, but you cannot hide, and the proof of the assertion is in it cannot be denied. The skeletons in your closet are crying out real loud, saying you can't keep us quiet just because you're not proud. You see, much sooner, if not later, will have to be heard. So why do you prevent us from having the last word? And poem.
Wow.
Yes, and when it comes to those skeletons in the closet, some are definitely deep and profound. It can turn your life over having secrets, especially when eventually you have people who find out. So what do you think of this, Liquid?
This was just fantastic, Boo. And talk about the Queen of Rhyme. You did just an exceptional job on this. But I loved your message. It was very strong and to the point of the day. You brought out issues that are going on and it was enlightening. I like that about your work is sometimes you just have a real way of focusing and enlightening the situations that we're going through, and this had just a really good flavor to it, and I thank you for sharing it.
Thanks, Linda. Always those ones that are pointing out everybody else's skeletons got their own, right?
Right. No,
it's
it's a beautiful poem.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda. So
I hear Skeletons in the Closet reminds me of the Grateful Dead. They had an LP like that. Mm-hmm. Was it every single last release?
Yeah. Somebody, maybe Linda could read for Neil?
Yeah,
sure.
We're trying to find what poem he once read. Stuck in the middle with you, Bob Dylan. And, yeah, so while that's going on, we're going to skip Neil for a second and go back to our magic box. What else is here? All right. There's one that Linda can read, possibly a female writer like Randall Osry, who required a reader. Would you mind reading for Randall Osry, Linda?
No.
Why can't you do Neil? I wonder, is something wrong with Neil? Or?
No, he still had to mention which poem he wanted read. I'm waiting for him to respond back on the board.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Halcyon Harmony by Randy Osry. The link's there, Liquid.
Okay. Halcyon Harmony. Great picture by Randy Osry. The graceful night spreading his wings on earth, dispersing over the horizon freely with gates opening in various directions to welcome the stars as a victorious army. The shimmering sky face glowing bright, embracing the lustrous crescent tight, bathing the air's body with aesthetic golden rays as vigorous fireflies strolling gleefully. Summer's oven heat is tempered by the perpetual prairie breeze, the grasses donning stylish, gleaming remnants and undulating as if dancing at a ball. The lush jacarandas standing picturesquely and keeping well together as enamored lovers seeking the precious delights of solitude. In poem.
Yes, and there's definitely its own inner charms when you bring up alicons in poetry. There is all forms of lustrous metaphors here. This is a luscious piece of paint strokes that interweave into an entire kind of a aesthetic form of poetical masterpiece. Liquid, you read this. How did it make you feel? What do you think about this poem?
You know, this was a beautiful piece that kind of drew me in. I loved her language in this, but what I especially liked at the end was the lush jacarandas standing picturesquely, because I had jacarandas on my property when I lived in LA, and they are so beautiful when they're in bloom. They carpet the lawn with lavender or yellow flower buds that fall. And this whole poem just makes me feel that I'm on a summer's night and the breeze is blowing and I'm dancing and it's lovely, and everything can be boiled down to those jacarandas standing there, dropping their flower petals. And if you've ever seen it, you would know what I mean about the feeling that it gives you, that it's just nature is, God is so precious, and he gives us these precious gifts at special moments for us to enjoy. And it's not all the time, but this poem showed that, it's just a moment in time that is beautiful, that we can appreciate from God. So I thank her greatly for sharing this poem.
Yes, of course. We're all grateful for God. I would agree with you there. Boo, would you like to comment on Randall's piece?
Did you say Randall or Randa?
Randa. Your husband.
Okay, okay, just making sure.
I thought it was Rhonda, but it's Randa.
Yeah, I think it's.
I think it's Rhonda.
R-O? I think it's Rhonda, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think it's just another way of spelling it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should ask her.
Yeah, because it's R-O, so maybe I think that's how it. Anyway, it's it shows her spirituality and like the things that we should be appreciating that we never do. And it kind of reminds me of Dave's like dedication, because she's like, oh, she's such a spiritual person, and she is. She writes like very delicately and gracefully, I think. And it's hard. I'm not really good at writing about nature at all, so it's not really my forte. But she's really good at it. I love the title, Halcyon Harmony. That's pretty cool. That picture's pretty badass too. Spreading his wings on earth freely. Wow. I do see God, but for an aesthetic golden rays of vigorous fireflies strolling gleefully. I don't even know what a jacaranda is, but it sounds good. Yeah, precious delights of solitude, loving yourself by yourself.
A jacaranda is a tree that drops it gets flowers on it, and they're yellow, and they drop all at the same time, and they'll coat the ground with this yellow carpet. It's amazing to see. I had one in my yard, and I had a tipu, which did the same thing with lavender buds, but they were just beautiful to see.
Yeah, great job with that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of varieties of flowers. I read recently 12 to 16 million different species exist on the planet, and that's a shame. I bet a long time ago it was a lot of more species. So Beautiful Blade said she might call Blue, and we have no more sound clouds.
Can you do yours?
Jill. Yeah.
Can you do yours?
All
She
right,
has a sound
I'll
card,
do my
doesn't
poem.
Okay.
She's going to call to recite her piece, is what she's saying on the board.
Okay.
And we found Neil. He decided on the board that he wants a Saw Place read. So I don't know what order you want to do this. If maybe Neil should go first.
Okay, yeah, Neil should go first, yeah. I could read it if you want, yeah. Neil should go first.
Yeah. All right. Let me grab his poem. We're looking for a soft place. Let's have this read.
Okay.
Looking for a Soft Place by Neil Taylor.
Okay, thank you. Looking for a soft place.
Please don't ask
me
how I've been. You know my heart. I haven't seen your face in many years. Ain't over your blue. Things matter. I take them and bury deep. It eats me up as sin. We look hard in the eyes. You're the reason of me living life hard in misery. We speak how life is. I just say it's been well. Says she had a baby girl. My heart sobs fast, needing a place to go far. I saw her life once in blues. We say our sweet goodbyes and walk away with a teardrop, having this pain all inside. She's another lifetime ago, living in a whole other world. I just only live by surviving. I need a place to run off, a place to see you, my friend, and I can go ride. Need my childhood love, the loving horse to hold on. Need to be free, riding in stride. She will live on in my memories, blues, and how strong she was. I can only just look back and smile. Tonight, I'm going to a soft place. I'll ride on all through the night. My friend, I know I'll be all right. Looking for a soft place to get by. Thank God for tonight's full moon. I can be free, and I'll elope on by. Looking for a soft place to go ride. As one with my four-legged beast, looking for a soft place to survive. Daylight will find me, and I'll be all right. I'll carry on my life being free. Wasn't meant to be, and that's just life. Looking for a soft place tonight. Forget her face, I saddle up to ride. I'll be riding in perfect stride and peace. Yeah. And this was very well done in terms of a perspective which is completely definitive of modernism. It says here the genre is pain, and that soft place, it must be a way of trying to ease away what there is numbing from such formidable loss. Liquid, how do you feel about this piece by Neil Taylor?
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful piece, number one, and it's just that moving on from something that was special is very difficult, and he shows that here, you know, that he's having a hard time letting go, and towards the end, he's starting to let go and find his soft place where he can recuperate and recover from the lost love. But I think he did a really good job on this. Thank you for sharing it, Neil.
Yes, thank you, Neil. Boo, would you like to say on this?
You know, we all have a hard time letting go when it's something means so much. I mean, it's hard. Please don't ask me how I've been in class. You know, don't even, you know it's hurting. Why would you even ask that stupid fucking question? You know? And then the reason of me living hard, life hard in misery. And then she's moved on. She had a baby girl. She's doing her own thing, going on with her life, and he's still stuck in that place. we say our sweet goodbyes and I walk away. And nothing's more hurtful than that moment when you know that it's over and you've got to leave and you want to do anything you can. You want to do everything to run back and say, please take me back. I'm here, but they won't. But then he's still thinking about her at the end. And he's probably, maybe she was the love of his life or the once in a lifetime, looking for a soft place because she was a soft place. And you can find that you're lucky, and to lose it hurts immensely. Beautiful job, very sentimental, Neil.
Thank you, Boo. And riding those horses has been known to express a deep amount of pain. I would agree with the poet there. So I guess before we move on with your list of order, Boo, I'm going to have Liquid read a piece from the Magic Box. Yeah, okay. Go on.
I just wanted to say that in this, when we have a relationship that breaks, and I could see for the man that once that woman is away, that there's hope until she has a baby, and then the hope dies. And I think that's what he tried to portray in here, that once she had that baby, it was something that made him start letting go. But anyway, that's just me.
Yeah, that's pretty much like when it's pretty much like over when they have, baby to someone else. They're like,
that's
gotta
the
move
end
on.
of the story. Yeah, who you were holding on to, they're married and with the kid. I think I've been there, but I tend to not remember sometime in the past. Yeah, because you have to let go sooner or later, and just try to find a whole other direction. If you wallow too long in the blues, it's going to kill you.
Well, there's people that spend their whole life waiting and waiting and for shit that's never going to happen. Like, eventually at some point you got to, but, I know people, I got friends that have been waiting, I just wait, and it's like, what the hell? So, I don't know, it kind of borders on crazy in a way, I guess, but, yeah, anyway, it's a whole other show. I'm shutting up.
So I have a poem ready from Irish Rose for you to read, Liquid. I'm going to put it there in the board. And Neil says no, he can never let go.
Right.
There's some people you love your whole life, and when you're on your deathbed, you're 100 years old, that you'll still love.
Okay, this is Home by Irish Rose. And I see you standing there in my mind, waiting for me as I walk through the door. You're there in the quiet dark, and all alone in the dark, in the nakedness of the dusky evening sun. We become a thought, drifting off as if one to a place where we once lived by the shore. The warm air hangs closely low, curling your hair in the sudden flash of a July streaming storm. Light reflects my shuddered, raw flesh soul. Full of love's adore and bare affectionate joy that flies on those soft beating wings of the wind, smelling of hope, summer apples and home. And now the days are ripe in sun's full bright. We walk through that broad solstice door, taking in the emotional blooming life scene that bears and forgives, that weeps and sings, that dies and yet lives, and lives and lives in bonded memories and faded pains of home that now spin in time's gray fading shadows, and the winds weep through soft-blown asters bending down in the heat, heart's coveted memories not of make-believe, to that place we go to when in need, home, in poem.
Yeah, and that reminds me of a line I read in a Stephen King novel, Tommy Knockers, and Jim Gardner was thinking to himself, home is a place where if you go, they have to accept you. This kind of sums it up, too.
Right.
What do you think of it?
I thought it was beautiful. The way she speaks in this is just lovely. And she's right. There is no place like home. And she shows that in this beautiful poem. And I love her descriptions. The imagery in this was just like totally awesome. And I think she did a lovely job. Iris Rose, thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, it was a wonderful work. Ooh, that brings us over to you again as to commenting on this piece.
Yeah, sorry, my this version.
Mars might still call to do her poem, so don't worry about the sound.
Well, after yours was going to be done, so hopefully she'll be soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
We're almost out of material there in the magic box. Yeah.
So I can't. Okay, waiting for me is a walk through your quiet. Drifting off is like the place where we once lived. This reminds me of people that like almost made it, almost were there, but they kind of just barely missed each other. That dies and yet lives and lives and lives in bond and memory that faded pain. I don't know, it's kind of reminds me of people that were almost there. They were so comfortable with each other. They were each other's home and heart. And then the place where we go to and meet those people that are always comfortable, no matter how far away you are from them, no matter how much time has passed. When you get back together, you still feel like it was just yesterday. And it was beautifully written, and I think kind of full of regret, maybe, but lovely thoughts. We've all been there. I feel you. Great job, Rose.
All right, and let's proceed with the recital here. I guess Adam's a no-show, so I don't know what we're going to do with this piece. Have it read or what then? Yeah, and why don't we read Randall? Did you be the reader, Boo?
Yeah, and then you got to read yours, Raz. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. I don't see Randall's.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on the board right now.
Okay. I thought he might call.
Yeah, it was a shame Adam wasn't here with Rat.
Yeah, I don't know where they went. They are. Adam was on the board for the show. I think I know why he isn't here, but I won't. I won't say he's doing something. Anyway, I thought Randall might call too, but I think he's busy doing something. Anyway, he wrote this yesterday, and I love that picture. And June bugs on galloping sunsets. The clouds appear to float as tears and listless patterns on the cheeks of murdered skies, like white stallions in soft parades, violent reflections, tranquil and desperate, while twilight erupts in curious lightning void of thunder and its delicate sound before evening shades overcomes surreal pastels. Starlings rest their perfect wings on brilliant sailboat spring lines between erratic flights, a measure of insight for stagnant dreamers. Once darkness descends upon liquid channels in the ray of placid shadows, voice fades to low tones. Here, smiles initiate a perfect balance, escorting the day's gentle passing into night's sequin twinkle, stitched to an infinite blanket. Silent prayers become closing statements, as sealed kisses become a lifetime of memories, even a hush of delta whispers for brief moments under a ceiling of captured diamonds. And poem. wow.
You read it. What do you feel about this piece, Boo?
I don't know. It makes me want to cry. I don't know why.
Wow. Is it you on that kind of emotional level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you come back to me? Sorry.
All right. And there's definitely some lines here which stick out with me. Murdered skies, soft parades, infinite blankets, delta whispers, captured diamonds. You put this all together, it's a kind of a longing that exceeds what we know of the space-time continuum. You know, this is deep. This is trying to hold on to someone forever. That kind of white magic, which stretches abroad and afar. So, Liquid, would you like to comment on Randall's piece?
Sure. This is also a very beautiful piece. I love this this verse. Once darkness descends upon liquid channels, in an array of placid shadows, voices fade to low tones. This whole poem reminds me of laying on my deck on my boat at night and watching the stars and using the moon to navigate my boat, and just sitting out and enjoying the stars and the clouds and everything that's beautiful out there on the ocean, and the tranquility of the rocking of the waves, and just the beauty of a night on the boat. And I feel that in this poem, and I understand what you're saying, Boo, about wanting to cry. It's that pretty. Silent prayers becoming closing statements, as sealed kisses become a lifetime of memories, within a hush of delta whispers for brief moments under a ceiling of captured diamonds. That's just a beautiful verse as well. I think this is front page pick worthy.
Yeah, I nominated it already.
Did you?
I mean,
I'm having trouble nominating for some reason. I got the link and I go there and it won't take my poem.
Does it disappear, or?
There's no. I don't know where to put it in, and I keep scrolling and it just has list and list of.
It says, like, I'll show you how. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Sometimes you put there
below.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
because I got a poem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a poem I need to nominate.
Yeah, this one's really beautiful. Become the last stanza is just really, really heartwarming. This is just someone who's come to the realization that it's not going to be as they hoped. It's not going to go where they had wanted it to, although it shines like diamonds, and briefly, and closeness and a bond there, but one wanted to go a different way, and maybe one wanted to go another way, and it didn't quite work out that way, but holding on to hope. You know, it's just so beautiful, elegant, written, intimate, smile, initiate a perfect balance. Like, you know, you were in sync, you were you know, vibing, and then it just sort of, you know, and he realizes that now, and this is about letting go, I think, and it's, you know, for somebody you'll never forget. You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we are people like that, but unforgettables. I would definitely see that message there within the piece. So carrying on with recital, let me see real quick here if anyone else is in the studio. Hopefully Mars, because we're running out of airtime now. You wanted to cut this short tonight, right, Boo?
I'm having a hard time with conversion as always. This is annoying. And that's what's making people upset, and I get it. Believe me, but I've tried 20 different converters, none of them. I have the hardest time with the YouTube conversion. Maybe you could just play it. It's up there. It's ready.
All right. You mean Beautiful Mars?
Yeah.
I'm running into my own technicalities here.
Let's do yours first. Let's do yours first and give her some more time. Do yours first, and then maybe she'll call. I don't think she'd mind if we play.
Yeah, Beautiful Mars is not in the studio yet that I see. So I guess we're going to have to play her audio clip. What heading is that? The date
do yours
or
first,
the name? The name? Yeah. Okay, I'll do mine.
Do yours
first.
You can give it a few more minutes.
And this is from a prompt session at Clubhouse, who was giving me the idea in order to inspire the piece for Sinister Spital at the time. And he brought up, I think it was Pink Girls and Spandexes. And I tried to some way of conceiving a poem from that idea, which was the prompt. But there's all kinds of workshops out there. If you ever feel uninspired, there's others who are willing to help you continue and pursue this fine art form of poetry. So let me read mine real quick. It's Diplomacy, and here's how it goes. Diplomacy. Color powder synesthesia, diluted to the receptacle, major brand store, hacking pink girls who are retaining flamingos, jazzy saxophone blaring the Unicode codex mixer caught in multiple matrices, cool decipher the juxtaposed hypertext, the MLB referee out sign is personally bleeping, hard dry lines in the curveball are the icicle, rain horseshoe archway sliding, kinky obsessive compulsive, running the banana split, melon boys are feeling quite peachy, and peace. Any comments? Liquid?
Linda. No, if you don't answer your own comments, stop that.
I like the ending of it, how you use the fruit in there, the melon boys, the banana split, feeling quite peachy. That was very clever. It is a clever piece, and I would want to read this a couple more times to really be able to give it a better comment. But I'm going to say, Razz, your stuff is always so intricate and artistically written. So, yeah, more power to you, sweetheart. This was beautiful.
Liquid.
You're welcome.
I was kind of imitating E. Cummings very poorly for what there is of that whole stanza break. But I like the prompt. I wanted to give it justice without it being too much like punk rock, what there is of Spandex Pink Girls.
Raz, this is so different for you, the way that it looks, the format. I don't think I've ever seen you do like a crazy, squiggly thing going on. I like that. And then Power Cynthia, diluted of the receptacle. That's incredible. What was the prompt, did you say, a Clubhouse?
Pink Spandex Girls by Sinister Spital.
Yeah, pink girls who are retaining flamingo, jazzy saxophones. blaring in Unicode. It sounds like they're all the same. Nobody's ever different. They all just mimic each other. The personal bleeping hard as dry line. It sounds to me like a very boring, very mundane, very banana split, preachy, nobody's original, same old shit, cookie cutter, lame ass girl that you're just sick of seeing. I don't know, that's what I see there. I might be way off, but really cool. I like it. I like
feel that bad about TCBY ice cream, Boo?
Huh?
How can you feel that bad about TCBY ice cream?
That's ice cream. No one believes us.
The whole point here. Different shades of ice cream colors, really. Diplomacy.
And I was really way off, but it's a good poem. Colorful. Yeah. Good for you. Something different for you. I like to see it's light, and I understand it. Well, I thought I did. Never mind, but good poem.
Wonderful. Thanks, Boo. And we have a caller in the studio. Unmuted. Hello? Hello? You're unmuted, caller. Are you there?
I am.
218. Is this beautiful? Is this Mars?
Yes.
You called just on time. 10 minutes left before the studio shut out. Do your piece. Glad you can make it to the show.
Yeah.
Hi, Blaze.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah, of course. We had the kids out at the park, and we just got back.
Yeah, I hear your kids in the background.
I'm going to go grab your camera.
You make motherhood seem so proud, Blade. So I have your piece to
so effortless.
Put it on the board. Did you say that you were going to read it, and otherwise there was a SoundCloud, or do you want the SoundCloud?
I think she wants the SoundCloud.
You can do the SoundCloud, because I don't know if my kids are going to scream, so.
All right. Could you grab that, Boo?
Yeah, I'm getting it. 1 second. It's Lullaby, right? Yes, explain.
Yep, Obsidian Lullaby.
Morning comes, another day to play minefields and mind games, decaying carcass splayed and slayed. I left the Wolverine behind, lines where I pass with cadavers, all the ones I've left for dead. Up ahead, I hear a squawk. Panic sounds I want to squash. You've got commandments, I've got them too, but you'll be needing last rites when I'm done with you. You say you're loco, nah, you're fucking insane. Thinking you can beat me at an alpha's game? I tamed all my opponents, maimed and slayed them, no one to save them. Bodies rotting in the sun, one by one, I claimed them. The only thing crappy is the way that you write. Feel the muscles in my jaw clamp down as I bite. Sink my fangs into your flesh, test the limits of my strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, taking lives for survival, no hope for revival. Steal your wings for my mantle, final flight up in shambles. Cyclo denial, suicidal spiral. Don't know how you're still breathing. This snake is homicidal. Hey Stanley, where's the family? Do you know where they are? Can you smell their remains? I fed them to the jaguar. Dance of death versus dance of life. Dance for your wife first. Dance again in the afterlife. Say it hurts. Make you scream. Bow down in defeat in front of your queen. Win some, lose some, no in between. Let's get obscene, bitch. I'm a fucking machine. Night, night, sweet dreams. It's time to sleep. Your life slips away. Last breath unseen. Nobody cares, and no one intervenes. Mama Mamba tucked you in for bed, condemned to eternity. This is your end.
Bravo.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was the fourth installment of the Black Mamba verses. It's fun.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun
Black
recording
Mamba
it.
is making it quite hard to be defeated here. I myself off that Dance of the Afterworld part It reminds me of what ghosts might do in their own spare time at night. Liquid, how do you think of this piece by Mrs. Mars?
Mrs. Mars. This was just another beautiful, well-written, jolly, just a magnificent portrayal of the Black Mamba. Your theatrical performance is above board, and I think that just the narration and everything of this was out of this world. The imagery is like really cool, and I just love your little stories about the Black Mamba. I mean, go figure who could make a Black Mamba so fun and personable. Good job.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was off the scale. Boop. Boop. Come back here. Where'd she go to?
She's hiding.
She wasn't distracted by the hallways in the hospital again. And I thank you, Blade, for coming on time.
I'm here.
Giving us another installment of Black Mamba. Well, there's Boo.
Hey. Yeah. Sorry, my boss is driving me nuts. Anyways, so anyway, when you first started off, I was like, is she talking to somebody else? Because you were just like right in your face. It was a fucking badass poem. You were pissed off. I loved it. Like, really. I'm going to write you a better comic than my boss made it.
Yeah, we'll give you some more feedback on the site, Blade, and everyone else who's on the topic quoted tonight. So, I guess we're going to have to bid our dues. You came just at the last minute. Thank you, Mrs. Mars. And thank you, Liquid Damage, for staying for the entire show.
Thank you, Razz, for having me.
And, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, I like to do my quick acknowledgments for Public Poetry 62622. Mrslilboo, Headshot, The Rolling Stones Painting, David Prophet, Randy Osbury, Conrad, P.M. Murphy, Neil Taylor, Liquid Damage, Xbox 3D Players, and Xenobots, Fortnite, Phil the Poet, Irish Rose, The Continuity Infinitum of the Natural Continuum, Supercell, Instant Meteorological Predictors, Ghost of Moon, Randall S, and the special place that we have for Podcast Space, as well as beautiful Blade Mars. Thank you all coming out tonight for Public Poetry, and hope you stay tuned to the next episode. Good night.
Yep, good night.
Good night.